Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm just sitting here in my robe drinking my morning coffee looking sexy as hell as usual. And for those of you who say I don't look sexy as hell when I do these videos in my robe, nobody cares what you think. I didn't ask you shit. Also guys, I apologize for not getting a second video out yesterday. I got miffed and didn't finish the one I tried to do. I tried to set up and do another how-to form video, but it started raining on me when I was trying to set up. And I got pissed off and didn't bother to do a second video yesterday. But that's the British weather for you. Now, I've seen a reoccurring question come up, and I saw a couple of people ask it in the Monday Q&A thread on the Facebook fan page. And it's a regular question that I get, and it's usually someone has some type of training injury or injury they got from some other activity that limits the training that they can do, whether it's just a pull or a strain, or they've had some sort of minor surgery that they're having to work around, or even something like a broken leg or a broken arm. And they asked me the question of, should you cut when you are recovering from an injury? And to me, this seems really counterintuitive, and I'm surprised at this question, but I really shouldn't be, because a lot of people don't know these things, and they're here to learn, and they want to learn, and so it's not really a stupid question if you think about it, if someone doesn't really have the knowledge yet on this sort of thing. Now, what I would say is that no, it's a very bad idea to cut when you're working around an injury, and in fact, in some cases, it might even be a bad idea to bulk. And here's the reason why. As far as the cutting goes, what you're doing, if you're limiting your training because you have some injury that you have to work around and a lot of major movements or even certain body parts can't be trained, when you go on a cut, you're getting no training stimulus to hold on to muscle in that region. So what's going to happen is you're going to lose muscle mass at a higher rate than normal on your cut. You're going to find it very difficult to hold on to that muscle mass. Let's say, for example, you got a broken leg, you can't squat, or you've got a strained shoulder, something in your rotator cuff, or something, a strained pec, that you can't do any sort of pressing with your chest or even your shoulders or something for several weeks, and you go on a cut, you're going to lose muscle tissue through those regions at a faster rate. And the same with the legs. Even if you're doing one-legged leg presses instead of squats, you're going to see additional atrophy happen in the regions that you can't train, unfortunately. And on top of that, it takes energy, it takes fuel in your body to recover from some sort of injury. Your body needs resources for that, and if you're depleting yourself through cutting or losing weight, you may slow down, and probably will slow down, the rate at which your injury recovers. And so it's really a bad idea all around for not only preserving muscle mass and performance, but for healing and recovering more quickly. So I wouldn't recommend it. And now we can run into the same issue with a bulk. You're going to be limited in what areas you can train, and therefore you would normally bulk on, you're going to be gaining less muscle because you have certain body parts or muscles that can't be trained properly, so you're gaining less overall muscle mass. And if you're on your normal calorie surplus that you would use for bulking, but you're gaining less muscle, where are those extra calories going to go? They're going to go to your fat tissue. So you're going to gain less muscle, and you're going to gain more fat. So I would recommend that just for body composition purposes, you don't bulk. Try to stay at maintenance and try to gain muscle wherever you can. Because you might find that even at maintenance, when you're recovering from an injury, you can train other areas hard enough that you can gain some muscle there. And then the areas that are recovered will hopefully catch back up when you get done. But I wouldn't bulk because, again, you might gain more body fat, and you could also get a disproportionate development. The only exception might be, let's say you have some sort of upper body injury, but if your legs are lagging, it might allow you to do a lot more work for your legs. It's a lot of guys who have, say, some injury, a broken arm or something like in leg, they still might be able to do good mornings. They might be able to do squats. They might be able to do leg presses, and they can progress on those and bring their lower body up to match. That might be the only exception that I would make for that, simply because those are really big muscle groups. So a small calorie surplus is really going to make a difference there, and they might balance themselves back out. But if something like your lower body is what you can't train, then you're really going to have a different situation. You're going to be right back to what I was talking about, of a bulk maybe not being very beneficial because the smaller muscle groups are all that you're able to train effectively. So that's just my take on it, and it doesn't mean that I'm absolutely right. That's just my opinion on these things, and that's how I feel about the subject. So I generally, other than the recommendation I made or the exception, I would generally recommend staying at maintenance and not trying to do a true bulk or a cut when you are trying to recover from some type of injury. Alright guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.